painting the river scene. So the first thing you need to do is start by drawing the horizon line. So in the picture, the horizon line is pretty much right in the middle. So what I'm going to do is raise up the horizon line a little bit to make the composition a little more visually appealing and more balanced. You don't want a horizon line exactly in the middle, so you either want it above or below so that it's about approximately maybe a third down or 2/3 up, or you could have it, if you want a lot of sky, you could have 2/3 down and then draw the horizon line. I think I want more of the ground and less of the sky. So in order to draw the horizon line, this is a trick that I want to show you. So if you don't have a ruler and you want to draw a straight line, you're going to take your hand and push it against the edge of this canvas. And then you're going to place your pencil down, and then you're going to freeze your hand so it won't move. And then I'm going to just drag and push along that edge of the canvas at the same time, not moving my hand, and just drag it to the bottom. The other thing I'm doing is drawing from top to bottom because it is easier to draw from top to bottom. Same with painting, easier to paint top to bottom than trying to go side to side. I can see that it's a little bit off, so I'm going to try that again. I can just visually sort of tell that it is a smidge off. Okay, so I'm going to erase that first line. That looks a little better. Okay. And if you want to, you can use a ruler. That's fine too. I have a ruler right here. And I'm just going to double check, kind of measure it. Yep. It's pretty good. Looks pretty good. It's just a little bit off where it went down, and it goes right there. Okay. Doesn't have to be super perfect. All right, the next thing is that there's mountains in the background. So I am going to draw the mountains that I see pretty far away. If you are drawing a very specific place, you're going to make sure that you have to draw those landmarks as they appear. You can't really just make up any old mountains if it needs to be this particular scene. The same with the beach scene. If you do the beach scene, you have to have those two islands off the coast. Otherwise, it won't look like Lanikai Beach. Okay, also in the picture, I see that there is a piece of land that's going off in this direction. Then there's a group of trees right here. And then a hill or another mountain right there. There's another piece of land that goes right there. And then the edge of the water in the front. And then there's a large tree right here. And it goes all the way to the sky, but I think I'm going to end it. I'm not sure if I want it up to the sky or not yet. There's another tree here as well. I don't think I'm going to put in that tree. Okay, so remember, you can put in things or take out things. So that's all I have for my sketch. You don't need to draw in every single detail. You don't need to draw it, like all the parts on the rocks or the shadows, or I'm not even drawing the reflections yet because we're going to end up painting all of that in. Okay? All right. the next thing you're going to do is paint the sky in. So I'm going to paint in the sky one color first, and then I'm going to go on top of it with the clouds. So I'm going to use the warm blue. And I'm sorry, I'm going to use, so I'm going to use the warm blue, and I'm going to paint blue right along the edge of the canvas. This is the top of the sky. Remember, I'm painting vertically because it's easier to get my brush strokes in top to bottom than trying to go across. I'm going to make an ombre. So I want this dark blue to blend to a lighter blue. So I'm going to pick up some white, and I'm going to put it down on the canvas, and I still have that blue. I didn't wash it out from my brush, and I'm going to blend in the wet paint of the blue into the wet paint of the white. So this is called wet on wet painting, and you want to do this as quickly as possible. You want to get all of this blending in. If you wait a little bit, the paint will start to dry and it'll be harder to blend and move. So I'm starting off with that blue. I'm blending it into the white. Right about there, I'm going to wipe off my brush and get rid of a lot of that blue. I'm not rinsing it out. I'm just wiping off my brush. And then I'm going to pick up more yellow, or I'm sorry, more white, and I'm going to brush it right along here and blend in this blue with the white, and I'm going to paint all the way down to the tops of the mountains. And I'm trying to, as I paint, I'm not just going up and down, but I'm trying to kind of go a little bit at a diagonal to pick up some of that blue. Bring it down. So if you've ever watched Bob Ross paint, he uses this wet on wet technique in his paintings, except he's using oil paint, so the oil stays wet or it won't dry for a longer period of time than the acrylic. So the acrylic, you have to work a little faster. Okay, so then I'm just going to take my brush very, very lightly, barely touching the canvas, and I'm going to brush up and down, blending in these colors so that I get a pretty smooth ombre. Okay, and so that's what it's going to look like when you have your when it's finished, when you have your painting done. So I'm going to tilt my canvas, and I'm going to move this camera closer so you can see what I'm going to do for the clouds. I'm going to change to a round brush. I'm going to use this medium round brush. Okay. Remember, only get the point, the paint on the point. You don't have to get the paint all the way up to the ferrule. And to paint the clouds, these are the basic clouds. You're going to make an arc and paint another arc next to it and another arc. So paint swirly sort of cloud shapes first with the white, and it's going to, the paint will blend in with the wet paint in the background, and that's fine. And then at the bottom of the cloud, I'm going to lightly take my brush and just brush it back and forth, blending in the bottom of the cloud to the sky color. So these are the basic clouds that you can make. Now, I'm going to keep painting and show you how to paint all those other colors into the clouds. But first, I just wanted to show you this. And then if you want another cloud, I'm going to roll my brush and get some of that paint off. Make those swirly brush strokes again, so that what you end up with are, this is called a hard edge at the top. And the bottom, since it's blended in, this is a soft edge. Okay, and you can leave it like that. You can have clouds that look like that, and it's fine. You don't have to follow the picture. But if you want to go further and paint with all the different colors, I'm going to show you that next.